Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is SCII, and today I'm going to be coming in with a bit of an impromptu video. So today I was going around the SCII arcade because recently I've been doing that. Hearthstone's been rather out of the way with the new expansion Blackrock Mountain. I wanted to do a video on that, but as it turns out, some of the meta is actually very unappealing, and it's what you've seen already. The return of Zoolock and Facehunter kind of brings back the old pre-GVG days, but now, so after abandoning that, I went on to go to the Starcraft 2 arcade, because I haven't done that in quite some time. Doing some old games like Mafia, Desert Strike, what was that third one? Nexus Wars, that's it. And today I came across this new game that I found to be in one of the top played called The Cave of Blood, which is what I'm seeing here playing right now. This is a replay, this is not live, so don't think that what I'm doing is controlling, like, I'm not controlling my Volsathos right here, so let's know that. Anyway, while playing this game, I had a lot of fun. It's a sequel to one of the games I played back at the launch of Heart of the Swarm, called Catastrophic, which is named after the mod's creator, Catastrophic, who is actually in this game with me right here. He has a lot of resources because, of course, he is the big cheese of this operation, and he is a very... I had a very good conversation with him over, I'd say, hour and a half, or hour and 13 minutes exactly, that's how long it says. But after having this conversation with him, I thought that, well, being a gamer in the sense is not as easy as it may seem. Now, like, when you look at me, I've gotten to professional gaming, I'm currently looking to make games, but while I'm looking for a degree right now, I'd say pretty good in standings, but I don't think I'm in any danger of not receiving it. Just keep on the path, but I think that a lot of what it comes down to is not really that you have a degree or any of that. I think it's more of the experience that comes with having this or being in the gaming industry, so to speak. Now, to be a gamer is actually a very casual thing because, of course, it's just like reading a book. You just get down, you sit down and say, I'm going to play some games today. And you get online, you pick your favorite game, and you play it for a bit, and don't usually think about anything else while doing it. Now, even though it might not be as intellectually stimulating as a book is, it's still, of course, beneficial in some way because it helps, of course, hand-eye coordination and all that. Gets your brain thinking. Of course, if it didn't, how would professional gamers even exist? Because then if it didn't help them, everyone would just be wandering idiots. But that point aside, after having this talk with Catastrophic, if you didn't know, he has worked on Catastrophia since the release of Heart of the Swarm, and has recently come up with this one. He has told me back with the release of the original Catastrophia, he had put in almost his entire day into working on the project, which is a little insane, I'd say, but what he came out with is a masterpiece of a work. I have to say that it is one of the best RPGs in the arcade, hands down, and I'm sad that people haven't played it in a long time because of its lack of updates, but I can completely understand why it doesn't have updates. But this new game, which is the new sequel, of course, doesn't look very developed. There's a lot of open areas around the map, which makes me know that a lot of stuff is going to be added, and makes me keep coming back thinking, alright, what new area is new? Like, this area over here, this PvP area, wasn't even in when I played this afternoon. So, it's a very in-progress map, and I have to say that it's very good. And compared to a lot of the other RPGs, it has a very simplistic feel, which often catches my eye because it's an arcade game. You're not supposed to get heavily involved in an arcade game. It's something you do as a little off-to-the-side thing. But, so, back to the whole point about gaming. This man has created this wonderful creation of both Catastrophic and the Cave of Blood, not the Tides of Blood. And after talking with him, he's talked to me a lot about how he's losing hope in gaming, even though that he is the owner of the 8th most popular game in Starcraft 2. And I found this kind of interesting because if you think that someone's the 8th most popular game owner in the arcade, they would be a little more inclined and more, well, on board with the whole gaming as a whole thing. I know that sounds weird, I'm trying to wrap my own head around it. All this is non-scripted, so please forgive me. But when you take all that into consideration, you can often make elaborations to what we have in our current lives. When I know for a personal fact, I know a lot of people back in my high school who wanted to become professional gamers, who wanted to be these sort of uptight, very well-known people who play games like League of Legends, and I personally play Hearthstone. I know another friend of mine liked to play World of Warcraft. Got another one who plays Magic the Gathering. I know that's not a video game, but it's pretty close. And not a lot of people actually get to experience the ability to become a professional gamer, because of course, a lot of people are trying to do it. And that really thrusts a realization onto you that, I mean, you're not going to be able to always get what you want. There's always going to be another person who has the edge over you, or was there longer. And I think that because of that, a lot of people think that they become professional gamers with very little effort in the way of doing things. On my side, I started getting into tournaments in the very early stage. Like, I just finished the HSL Hearthstone tournament. I've recently completed my round of casting, but I know somebody else is going to be taking over for that, so that's a relief. It was fun seeing all the decks there and stuff, but there's a lot of people who wanted to have that spot, and I know that a lot of people aren't going to have that spot because, well, simply put, there's too many people who want the same job. And that's quite disappointing, because it's a really fun profession, and it's like making music, sort of to speak, if you know what I mean. But when someone makes music, or just like gets around to making music, very little people become popular in that profession, and they go into that profession knowing this. And I think that's kind of sad, because when you look at all these people who are trying to become, say, musicians or photographers or something, it doesn't all add up in the big scheme of things. And when you think about all the things that people do to become these quote-unquote professional gamers, it's kind of extreme, so to speak. I wouldn't say extreme, just, well, out of the way. And I wish people would do more things that get their names out there, because if they don't, they're just going to end up being very disappointed people in their grand scheme of things. I know that you should probably have not even considered gaming as a profession. It's not a very secure way, as I've said previously, but I know I at least hope to continue my current standing in it. I know that it's not a very secure profession, and that I might not be inclined to keep it for however long I may. And I know that I have the tools I need to, well, back up in the case that it fails. But other people don't have that chance. And personally, I think that people who like Catastrophic here, who have the skills to do it, they made a really good game. And I have to say that, like I said before, it's one of the best games in the arcade. And yet, I would personally say that this game could easily become a game on its own, and that it's a shame that it isn't, because I personally, if I had the money, if I saw it in the arcade and I saw, oh, this looks like I would say looks like a fun game. I mean, if you look at here, it's got a lot of diversity. The multiplayer that's built into it seems to be... The multiplayer that seems to be built into it helps you just relax and cope with talking with other people while grinding these bosses. And it all wheels together into this really fun game. While other games seem to be more serious, like World of Warcraft, where you're either in it or you're out of it. But making games is a lot different from playing games, and I think that it's this that a lot of people think that if they like games, they're gonna like making games. And I have to say right now that you should probably try making a game, because it is not anywhere near playing a game. But it is all the much more rewarding than playing a game. Seeing all these people who watch you and praise you for what you've done. And I personally hope that what I've said to Catastrophic here makes him happier about what he's done here. Because, I mean, he sounds pretty depressed, I'd say. But I wouldn't know. But anyway, in the way of gaming and things, personally, I'm going to try to open up another career opportunity for myself and try and make this channel more open, have more frequent updates, be about more things. I'm going to try and get better recording software soon. Right now I'm just stuck with Bandicam and Windows Media Maker. Ha ha ha. I know. I just noticed that I left a very important item here, like a complete noob. Name of OP. But I'm hoping to do more games, hopefully on more SCII arcade games like Mafia. I'm going to try and do more on this game being, what was it, Cave of Blood, when it gets more updated. If I can come up with Catastrophic again, I can tell you the ropes, we can do a little introduction to the series. Or not series, the game itself. That was a weird way of putting it. But I hope that you guys can forgive me for the amount of time that I've been absent. I've had a lot to do lately in the way of getting the tournament done, and degrees, and all this stuff. But I will do my best to make more videos and try and be the most entertaining person that I can possible. And first of all, I'm going to try and see if I can make some kind of website or timeline where if I get X amount of subscriptions, I'll do this for the channel. Like if I get, let's say, 1,000 views, I'll start doing more highly edited videos, or not views, subscriptions. That'd be more like 50, but if I got, like, say, 1,000, I'd start putting my face cam in all the videos, even though I'm not the most appealing of a person. It just seems to attract people. It's when you can see the person talking on the other side of the microphone. And if I can get this into a successful place, be it through the SCII Arcade or Hearthstone or whatever media that I would become popular. I mean, if I can become a professional gamer is one thing. I mean, I am, but by any terms, I don't think that that's as stable. It's even less stable than YouTube is more stable than being a professional gamer, because at least then your views are at least somewhat stable. If I would go a long time without winning anything at all, I would be pretty much doomed. I wouldn't get any income, I wouldn't be able to feed myself, I wouldn't be able to pay loans in the future. It would just be quite a disaster. But if you were a YouTuber, you would be able to, if you had a large fan base to begin up with, of course you wouldn't go into the profession of YouTubing if you didn't have a large following to it, having at least, I don't know, 10,000. Yeah, 10,000 seems like a good number to go into that profession. But just having a dedicated fan base that comes, well, will just be there. And currently I don't think I have that following. And I want to have that following, but I don't think I can obtain that following anytime soon. But, of course, I can't, but the big factor in any of this is just getting other people. Like, if you talk to your friend and say, hey, there's a cool guy named Jockeyman who wants to get his channel more popular, you subscribe to me, even if you don't like my videos. Just having that extra subscription, I mean, you don't have to click on every video that I make. It's your choice whether you want to do it or not. It's your choice if you want to subscribe or not. But just knowing that the more subscriptions I get, the more inclined I'm going to be to take time out of my day of gaming, my day of doing tournaments and such, to get together and say, hey, I want to make a video for all the people who have supported me. But right now I've got, 7 people, and most of that is just my close friends, close family, and hopefully I can get that number raised very soon. I want to try and do more high name videos more frequently. That'll try and get my name out there. But all this is very, I mean, this is very sudden. All of this idea rose from this guy right here, the guy who has picked the same hero mirrors. I picked the same hero as him because he is the leader of this fair game. But I think we've made each other think very differently about how we should go about our ways of life, or just professions. Myself, I just hope that you will see more videos in the future, and I will be posting another video soon. Just another discussion on just something I've been thinking about recently. Another friend of mine who I will keep unnamed. I will always keep him unnamed. He is not anyone that I know over the internet. He's just someone that I meet on a personal basis. If he doesn't want me to talk about him, I won't. But it's just something that's also been affecting me lately. I wanted to talk about it. But anyways, that's going to be about it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know this has been a very impromptu, out-of-the-way video. Hasn't been very entertaining in the way of gameplay. I'm going to fix that, don't worry. Videos should be back up soon. I'll try and make one on the 4th wing of Blackrock Mountain. My own personal first run. And I'll be sure to get back to you then. But before then, I'll, of course, have that other video to talk about. And I hope that you will be personally excited to see everything that I will create in the future. And if you have any recommendations, be it in the way of Starcraft 2 arcade games, in the way of decks I can try out, just be knowing that I don't have every single card in the game, so bear with me. I can only crap certain, I can crap most decks, but not all of them. But thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys later.